The Washington forests stretch for miles, dark, damp, and ancient. Among the towering pines and thick underbrush, something watches. It moves like a shadow, its eyes gleaming in the dim light. The locals whisper of it. They call her Canis. But once, long ago, she had another name. Nora was her name, but that name has become a distant memory to even her. Before the curse, before the hunger. Chapter 1. The Hunt. Nora's paws left barely a trace in the soft, wet earth. The mist hung heavy in the air, clinging to her thick fur as she padded silently through the woods. The hunger was sharp today, gnawing at her insides. It always was. Every night the curse pressed against her, forcing her to stalk the land, to hunt. She was a dog. No, not just any dog. The one who had lived for centuries, cursed to relive the same cycle again and again. She had been human once. She remembered pieces of it, echoes of warmth, of firelight, of a life stolen from her. She had been betrayed, cursed to live as a beast, to kill and never be free. The curse was cruel. The only way out was to kill the one responsible, the descendant of the sorcerer who had doomed her. For lifetimes she had hunted them. Tonight, she would find them. Her ears flicked as she heard voices ahead. Two humans, laughing, unaware of the predator lurking in the dark. Their scent was thick, familiar. Sweat, leather, and something else. Something old. Blood. Nora crept forward, her body low to the ground, her breath slow and steady. One of them was the bloodline. The other, just collateral. Chapter 2. The bloodline's trick. She saw them now. A man and a woman, walking the trail, flashlights cutting through the darkness. The man was relaxed, too comfortable. He belonged here. The woman? She was afraid. Nora could smell it on her. The hesitation in her steps, the way her heartbeat fluttered like a trapped bird. Nora watched them, waiting, calculating. The man turned, his grin wide in the dim light. "You feel that?" he asked. The woman shivered. "Feel what?" He chuckled. "Like something's watching us." He wasn't wrong. Nora tensed. She lunged. The man didn't run. He didn't scream. He smiled. And in that moment, she knew. This wasn't just any descendant. This was him. Not his great-great-grandson. Not another link in the chain. Him, the one who had cursed her. The same man. The bloodline had never broken. The curse had never passed down. He had lived just as long as she had. The truth hit her like a blow. She had spent centuries hunting ghosts, chasing a phantom, while he had been waiting. "You see it now, don't you?" he murmured, tilting his head. Nora's growl rumbled deep in her chest. All these years, all these lifetimes, the curse had never been hers to break. It was his. And now, she had one chance to end it. Chapter 3. The Reversal. The wind howled through the trees. The woman stood frozen, staring at them both, oblivious to the ancient battle unfolding before her. Nora had always thought she had to kill him to be free. But what if that wasn't the answer? What if the curse had been built on something else? On control, on power, on his rules? She took a step back. The man frowned. "Where do you think you're going?" She didn't answer. Instead, she sat and waited. The hunger inside her screamed. The instinct to kill burned in her veins. But she ignored it. Because if he had survived all these years, that meant one thing. He needed her. If she died, the curse would break. If she refused to hunt, if she denied him the game, the cycle would end. For the first time in centuries, Nora refused to fight, and the man panicked. "Enough of this!" His voice sharpened, desperate now. She didn't move. He took a step forward. "You think starving yourself will save you? You think denying it will break the spell?" A pause. "You can't." But there was doubt now. And that was all she needed. Chapter 4. The end of the hunt. The moment stretched between them. Then, finally, the man lunged, the mistake he had never made before. And as he reached for her, something shifted. The air thickened. The curse itself trembled. Nora moved fast, her body twisting, teeth flashing. Not to kill him, but to bite. The blood she had once feared, the blood that had burned her, now pulsed into her veins. But this time, she welcomed it. The moment his blood mixed with hers, the curse twisted, unraveling like threads pulled too tight. The man's body stiffened, his eyes widened, and then, the scream. Low, ragged, inhuman. His form cracked, his skin rippled. Nora stepped back, watching as the centuries caught up to him in an instant. The curse had never been meant for her. It had been his burden all along, and now he was finally paying the price. His body crumbled, flesh giving way to dust. The air grew still. Nora stood in the silence, feeling something she had never felt before. Light. The weight was gone. The hunger was gone. The curse was gone. She lifted her head. For the first time in lifetimes, she wasn't a beast, she was free. She took a step forward, leaving behind the shadows of the trees. Her paw pressed into the damp earth, and as it lifted, what came down was not claws, but flesh. Bare toes sinking into the soil. A foot, a human foot. The wind whispered through the trees as the first light of dawn touched her skin. Nora breathed in and walked out of the woods, a woman once more.